Hi friends, I'm Libina. Welcome you all to the English Corner. We share our class videos with you. Now, we are going to have the visualization of the best Christmas present in the world by Michael Morpurgo, which is meant for the 8th grade students. Please like, share and subscribe. Stay indoors, stay safe. Thank you.
Hello, dear friends. We are going to watch the visualization of the best Christmas present in the world by Michael Morpurgo. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport, a roll-top desk. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. This one was in a bad condition, the roll top in several pieces. One leg clumsily mended, scorch marks all down one side. It was going for a very little money. I thought I could restore it. It would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it.
What's the price of this rolled up desk?
Not much. You can take it. Okay then, I'll take it.
I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. It looked like water damage to me. Both fire and water had taken their toll on this desk. The last drawer was stuck fast. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. In the end, I used brute force. I stuck with the side of my fist and the drawer flew open to reveal a shallow space underneath, a secret drawer. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. Sellotaped to the top of it was a piece of lined note paper, and written on it in shaky handwriting, Jim's last letter received January 25, 1915, to be buried with me when the time comes. Inside the box there was an envelope. The address read, Mrs. Jim McPherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport, Dorset. I took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and dated at the top, December 26, 1940.
December 25, 1914. Dearest Connie, I write to you in a much happier frame of mind because something wonderful has just happened that I must tell you about at once. We were all standing to in our trenches yesterday morning, Christmas morning. It was crisp and quite all about as beautiful a morning as I have ever seen. As cold and frosty as a Christmas morning should be. I should like to be able to tell you that we began it, but the truth, I'm ashamed to say, is that Fritz began it. First, someone saw a white flag waving from the trenches opposite. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land.
Happy
Yay,
Christmas,
Merry
Tommy.
Christmas.
Happy
When
Christmas.
we had got over the surprise, some of us shouted back, Same to you, Fritz, same to you. I thought that would be that. We all did. But then suddenly, one of them was up there in his grey greatcoat and waving a white flag. Don't shoot, lads! Someone shouted, and no one did. Then there was another Fritz upon the parapet, and another. Keep your heads down, I told the men. It's a trick. But it was not. One of the Germans was waving a bottle above his head. It is Christmas Day, Tommy. We have schnapps, we have sausage. We meet you? Yes? By this time, there were dozens of them walking towards us across no man's land and not a rifle between them. Little Private Morris was the first up.
Hey, come on, man.
And
What are
then
you
there
waiting
was
for?
no stopping them. I was the officer. I should have stopped them there and then, I suppose. But the truth is that it never even occurred to me I should. All along their line and ours, I could see men walking slowly towards one another, grey coats, khaki coats meeting in the middle. And I was one of them. I was part of this. In the middle of the war, we were making peace. You cannot imagine, dearest Connie, my feelings as I looked into the eyes of the Fritz officer who approached me, hand outstretched.
Horn Wolf. I am from Düsseldorf. I play the cello in the orchestra. Happy Christmas. Captain Jim McPherson. And a happy Christmas to you too. I'm a school teacher from Dorset, in the west of England. Dorset. I know this place. I know it very well.
We shared my rum ration and his excellent sausage. And we talked, Connie, how we talked.
You speak almost perfect English. Yeah, thank you. But I have never set foot in Dorset. I have never been to England. Then how you learned this language? All I learn about England from my school and by reading books in English. My favorite writer is Thomas Hardy, and my favorite book is Far from the
So,
Muddling
out
Crowd.
there in no man's land, we talked of Bathsheba and Gabriel Ock and Sergeant Troy and Dorset.
Who do you have in your family? I have my wife and a son, born just 6 months ago.
As I looked about me, there were huddles of khaki and grey everywhere, all over no man's land, smoking, laughing, talking, drinking, eating. Hans Wolf and I shared what was left of your wonderful cake, Christmas cake, Connie.
Would you like to have cake? My wife made it for Christmas. Yeah, of course. Why not? This is the best marzipan
And
I've
someone,
ever tasted.
I don't know who, brought out a football. Grey coats were dumped in piles to make goalposts, and the next thing we knew, it was Tommy against Fritz out in the middle of the no man's land. Hans Wolf and I looked on and cheered, clapping our hands and stamping our feet to keep out the cold as much as anything. There was a moment when I noticed our breaths mingling in the air between us. He saw it too and smiled.
Jim McPherson, I think this is how we should resolve this war. A football match. No one dies in a football match. No children are orphaned. No wives become widows. Yeah, right. But I would prefer cricket. Then we Tommies could be sure of winning, probably.
Sad to say, Connie, Fritz won. 2-1.
Our goals was wider than yours, so it
The
isn't
time
quite
came,
fair.
and all too soon, when the game was finished, the schnapps and the rum and the sausage had long since run out.
and we knew it was all over.
Merry Christmas again, Hans. I hope you would see your family again soon. The fighting ends and we will all go home. I think that is what every soldier wants on both sides. Take care, Jim McPherson.
He saluted and walked away from me slowly. Unwillingly, I felt. He turned to wave just once, and then became one of the hundreds of grey coated men drifting back towards their trenches. That night, back in our dugouts, we heard them singing a carol and singing it quite beautifully. It was still a night, silent night. Our boys gave them a rousing chorus of while shepherds watched. We exchanged carols for a while and then we all fell silent. We had had a time of peace and goodwill, a time I'll treasure as long as I live. Dearest Connie, by Christmas time next year, this war will be nothing but a distant and terrible memory. I know from all that happened today how much both armies long for peace. We shall be together again. I'm sure of it. Yours loving, Jim.